Okay, so it's Thursday, August 10th. And I thought about this thing overnight. And I thought it's kind of decided it was unrealistic to add on to this. The whole thing is 6/10 of an inch short. Well, somewhere I screwed up. So what I decided to do was I drew a plan. This is the way it should be up here. Those are all the dimensions, all right? So this is the scaled dimensions. So I decided, rather than moving the stem, I'm just going to shorten these features by 2/10 of an inch, which, no, 1/10, which is like, no, 2/10, which is a foot. So I'm going to shorten this by a foot, this by a foot, and this. So what I wind up with are these dimensions: 4.26, 21.9 instead of 22.3, 6 instead of 6 1/4, and 4.2 for the forecastle instead of 4.4. So I guess that my takeaway from all this is that I proceeded from the details to the whole. You know, I was looking at where these frames were and measuring apart. I should have measured the whole thing to begin with, and then worked my way down into the details. But that's the only thing I can think of. So anyway, the seat covers have arrived for my Mercedes, so that's going to be occupying me for a few days. That's it for now. All right, so it's Friday, August 11, and I've been putting like a subdeck on. This is like thin plywood. What I did here was I made a little entryway to the forecastle, so there'd be a door on each side, and then I think there'd be a door here and here, or somewhere in that area, like for the crew's bathroom and lamp room or something like that. Not sure. And yeah, I got a little bit of a gap here, but all of this is going to be covered with the cut up 3x5 card stuff. Lay it down to make it look like separate plates. And actually you can use a Ponce wheel and scrap rivets in it and stuff like that. So if you want to get really fancy. So back here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I've got this plan. I'll do it in halves. I've been using this white glue and the clamps because it allows me to move things around. You know, as I put the glue, I put the parts on, and if I don't like it, I can move them around. Which with the ACC, you just can't do that. So anyway, yeah, everything is sort of coming together. Everything, of course, I shortened stuff, so this is not the full, you know, scale length. And the mast will sit here, and then they had 2 hoist engines, I imagine, one on either side of the mast. And I don't think the mast had a forestay. I think it just had 2 stays coming up from these points to the top of the mast. And these holes actually don't really have to match up with the hatch. I mean, when I build the hatch might actually be a little longer or whatever. And the same goes with here. I think I'll just have a hole back to about here, but the deck house and all that other stuff is not going to necessarily match the hole. So that gives me a little room to mess around with. Here's what I did here. Things are not quite perfect, obviously, but I can still move these 2. This one is glued in. Yeah, so moving along. I'll get some more later.